Brawl news. I'm going to be frank with you all, this is one of the more jam-packed episodes of Brawl news that we've had in quite some time. We've got some well-needed changes to Willow, but will it make her good enough for you guys to use your credits on? We've got the next update date for you all, a crazy implementation hitting the community that's going to be such a powerful asset when it comes to future updates, and so much more. But before we get into that, a quick word from our sponsor here today that definitely helps support this channel in a major way. Today's video is brought to you by One State. One State is the very first ever open world online game with role-playing mode, which in all honesty, I have never seen anything like this pop up on mobile, which is really exciting. Open world games as well as role-playing is actually incredibly fun that I've dabbled in the past, so seeing that it's coming to mobile is super awesome. One of the many main draws of this game is how big the map is, allowing hundreds of people on it, and even thousands of people being able to play at the same exact time together. There are so many different possibilities when it comes to One State. You can build a career as a policeman and lead a faction, or join a gang and lead a criminal lifestyle. Or you can just be a plain old hard worker, slowly organizing your business and trading with other players. It all depends on you. And if there wasn't enough nice things to be said about One State, it's also optimized for different devices so everyone can play comfortably. One State is absolutely free with no annoying ads like some other games have, so of course be sure to download One State using the link in the description down below, and for the first players I'll leave my promo code for you guys to use as a gift. As always, a huge thank you to One State for sponsoring this video here today, but with that being said, let's get straight away back into the video. Here we go. But I want to start off here today with one of the more important bits of news, I'm assuming for a lot of you guys out there, taking a look at a tweet 4 hours ago from Brawl Stars. Before Willow is out there, we are fixing a bunch of bugs related to her mechanics and making some changes. A bunch of fixes related to her mind control super. Willow's main attack now deals damage on impact, and Willow's supercharge is a bit faster now from 5 to 4 ammo. Seeing that it's been a few days now, I'm assuming a lot of you guys have already noticed, but Willow is chilling in the Brawlers Coming Soon section, coming to the game in 3 days and 21 hours. Look guys, I like to think I have a pretty dang small ego, so I hope this isn't coming across as flexing or anything like that, but I think it's important to bring up from time to time. I'm just really happy that I can offer you guys some really accurate predictions when it comes to Brawler release dates, updates around the corner. Seeing that we initially predicted her release date to be around April 3rd through the 4th a couple weeks ago, I take for granted how long I've been playing this game and keeping up to date with updates in the form of Brawl News episodes that sometimes I forget people aren't as crazy in tune to it as I am. So it's nice to know it's pretty helpful for some of you guys out there. So if you guys do find these things helpful, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. But seeing Willow is in the Brawlers Coming Soon section, we are able to test her out not only in the training cave, but in practice matches at power level 1. And I'm sure you guys knew how I felt about Willow before her changes. She was very weak, and I was getting nervous getting closer and closer to the date that they wouldn't make any changes to her. I've seen a lot of brawlers being released in my day into Brawl Stars, and I gotta say she was very bad. So much so that I'm not 100% certain that she's gonna be phenomenal in the meta when she's released, but it's definitely going to help. But the biggest takeaways that I think are going to impact Willow the most are the changes to her basic attack. My favorite change by far to her is she does initial damage as soon as the attack comes in, granting that 400 damage right away. Whereas before, the first tick of damage was delayed, which was completely unique to her. All the other poison damage dealing brawlers in the game had initial damage, so it made Willow very scary in terms of how bad she would be in situations when, say, an aggro brawler would try to get her. She just had no burst potential unless she had her super, which before she wasn't able to get her super that often because number one, there's no way to get any super regen from your super itself. While on top of that, it took before 5 basic attacks, 3 chips each in order to charge up 1 super, pretty much so confirming like 2 super usages in a normal game at the maximum. So the initial damage coming in is most definitely going to help her not only just just getting her super faster because the damage is being applied quicker. While on top of that, it now only takes 4 basic attacks, 3 poison chip damages to get 1 super. As to the other changes to her super, it's hard to tell, seeing that they don't really go into further detail on that. But you know, I think the changes to her will most definitely help her out. I think she's going to be an incredibly fun brawler. Still not super convinced that she's going to be phenomenal or anything like that. I love the concept of her super, but if not used in a spectacular way, I find the impact of her super to be like a worse version than Jean, seeing that she doesn't guarantee a kill. While the enemy teammate is being mind controlled, she's not able to move around or shoot. And let's be honest, the super really doesn't last that long, so I'm hoping that second star power really is goated, 75% movement speed. But yeah, it's completely up to you guys whether or not you want to get her on the first day with your credits that you have saved away. If you were debating it before and you were thinking about doing it before, I would say go ahead and do it, seeing that she did get those buffs. Most of the time when a new character comes to the game, the dev team really doesn't want them to be incredibly weak. So even if the changes aren't that great or impactful to her character, I'm sure she'll get additional changes. Moving along to the very next update release date, Season 18 of the Brawl Pass. Guys, with the release of Willow, that will mean that we will be halfway through Season 17. Isn't this update going incredibly fast, or is it just me? Now, I'm hoping due to my last predictions, much like Willow, you'll have a little bit of confidence in your boy, seeing that this prediction is way easier than predicting Willow's, seeing that we do have a countdown in game and based on previous updates. As it stands right now, we have 31 days and 20 hours remaining in Season 17. And seeing that we are headed into Season 18, we've had plenty of examples when it comes to timelines to base our predictions off of. The way that these seasonal updates roll out is we get the Brawl Talk about a week in advance before the actual Brawl Pass resets. It gives us time to digest the info from the Brawl Talk as well as those sneak peeks that roll out from content creators much like myself. Once all of that info is concluded, we still have a few more days to digest things, roughly like 3 to 4-ish days before the actual Brawl Pass is released. While on top of that, it's pretty much so tradition now that Brawl Talks fall on a Saturday. Almost every single Brawl Talk has come out on a Saturday, at least the most recent ones within the last couple years. So of course, with these elements, it makes it very easy to predict when the next Brawl Talk should be, and that is on April 22nd, falling on a Saturday. From today's date being March 30th to April 22nd, it is 23 days, leaving us about roughly 8 days on the Brawl Pass once that date rolls around. I think the perfect amount of time for what we've seen in the past. So we are quite a few weeks out, but knowing this info and predicting this far out, I think is a really powerful asset, being able to mark it down on your calendar and knowing when things are coming around the corner. Now, when it comes to what might be coming in Season 18, we'll be leaving that for a different day. Once we get a bit closer to that date, we'll be making some speculation videos that I think make the most sense for this next update. There's already quite a few really interesting theories, but I'd like to get a bit more organized before we dive into that for an update that is more than 3 weeks away. Our next bit of news is a very nice one. Guys, we are constantly reminded how phenomenal of a dev team we have when it comes to how much they pay attention to the community and listen to us. Unique to the Brawl Stars dev team compared to some of the other dev teams that work for Supercell, I feel like even if there is a mistake coming out with an update, the dev team is so fast to take in feedback and implement changes that make the most sense. And not only that, the insane clarity that they give us as a community. They literally dedicated half of a Brawl Talk to discuss what is coming out in the future and future plans in Brawl Stars. And we are reminded once again that communication is a very important aspect to the Brawl Stars dev team here, with a tweet coming out 2 days ago. Everything is so fast-paced nowadays that you can't get proper answers, right? Not anymore, hopefully. Time to Explain is the new Brawl Stars podcast, which will try to address most of the community's burning questions. Ask us stuff. This is wild. I'm assuming it's just going to be an entertaining watch no matter what they end up discussing, being able to hear the Brawl Stars dev team more often. But knowing the dev team specifically made a podcast, long-form content with the sole purpose to address questions that the community has about all aspects of Brawl Stars, I'm assuming a ton about updates, so I'm guessing this is going to be a really good asset when it comes to update speculation, dates, what's to come in the future of Brawl Stars. It's crazy. We truly are in phenomenal hands as a community playing Brawl Stars, man. And the final bit of news that we need to get into here today is a bit of announcement, a buffer. It is currently March 30th. In 2 days, April 1st is coming this Saturday. And guys, we all should know at this point, the dev team likes to participate, let's say, in the April Fool's tomfoolery, man. I not only just wanted to make you all aware that it is around the corner, but it actually could be some good news here. We really don't know what's going to come. In the past, the dev team has just kind of trolled us a little bit. For example, a couple years ago, we were announced that the egg Pam skin was coming. Low quality, but you guys get the gist. 2 years ago, we had an announcement that dev team skins were coming, a Danny Piper, a Frank, and a Ryan Edgar skin. But very interestingly, the last update had a bit less trolling, but very good rewards. We were actually given a game mode, I believe, with some really fun modifiers that, of course, had some cool rewards in them. But the most noteworthy thing is we ended up getting a challenge where we were able to get free gems. Now again, April 1st is kind of up in the air based on the examples from the past, but if it's somewhat similar to this, we could potentially suspect some sort of free gems or other really awesome rewards if it's held to the same standard as last year here. Of course, it was in the form of a challenge, but any potential to get free gems is huge, even if the total is 5, especially for free-to-play players. That 5 gems alone will allow several individuals to be able to afford this next Brawl Pass, which is huge for progression. So this is pretty much so a blind prediction, but all I'm saying is make sure to stay tuned for April 1st on Saturday. Something interesting might come in the form of potentially free gems if it's anything like last year. But there you have it, everyone. That's just about all we got for you here in this episode today, keeping you all in the loop as best as I possibly can. Hope you all found it useful or entertaining, anything like that. If you did, make sure to slap a like on it. I'd really appreciate that. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you all in the next one. Adios and take care.